Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of Beyond the Mask. Today we're going to be discussing Kirby Reed in Scream 6 and taking a look at her role throughout. Kirby is one of the more popular characters to ever emerge from the Scream franchise, so when it was announced she was making her return in the latest installment, fans were obviously happy about it. Since Scream 6 came out, however, there's been a constant complaint about the character that even some casual viewers have complained about with regards to Kirby. The complaints generally lie in the way the character was presented on screen, her involvement in the story, and her similarities to the character in Scream 4. It's my personal belief that there's a balance with this character. However, I do believe she was underused, and I'll explain why a little later. But I'd like to take a look at her development and provide a detailed analysis of this to help you guys understand the character and what I believe Radio Silence were trying to do with her. This video will contain spoilers for Scream 6, so let this be a warning. Without further ado, let's jump straight in. When we see Kirby in Scream 4, she's a teenager at Woodsboro High. She's quite respected, fun, and her presence on screen can be felt every time she shows up. The character goes through the progression of letting her walls down to Charlie Walker, only to discover he is the killer when he turns the tables on her in the final act. Now, in Scream 6, Kirby is introduced as a member of the FBI. We quickly learn she recovered from her injuries and decided she wasn't going to run and hide anymore. In fact, she was going to toughen herself up. We also learn that the character has had somewhat of a troubled past, as she was allegedly kicked out of the FBI for being unstable. Throughout most of Kirby's dialogue, she presents a similar line of speech that she did in Scream 4. She's quick, smart, and appears somewhat in control of her own emotions. The only issue with this is that it leads nowhere. Despite the character being extremely intelligent enough to question Detective Bailey on why Sam Carpenter would need her own therapist notes, Kirby's involvement in the story loosely fits in around the core 4, but she doesn't really bring anything groundbreaking to the table. Now, I didn't have much of an issue with this. Kirby is obviously damaged by her past and was never going to be the same Kirby from Scream 4. And she's also 30, and it makes a big difference between being 18, 19 to 30. However, she would have benefited if she'd have been given some extra material to work with that would have allowed her to have more of a prominent place amongst the characters. Off the top of my head, imagine if Kirby was suspicious of Detective Bailey from the get-go, and somehow had been watching him closely in the attempt to possibly expose him, but didn't have enough evidence to act. It's small, but this would have added so much to the character's story. I am not someone who was disappointed with Kirby in the movie. I enjoyed her. I felt she was utilised better than Sydney was in Scream 5, for example, but the biggest way I believe she was underused is in the final act. The character was taken down straight away, and in a way, I felt her taking up some kind of fight against the killers would have been more realistic than Sam and Tara. You know, Kirby is FBI, and I'm maybe somewhat unknowledgeable on FBI training, but surely should have been trained and would be capable. However, she seemed like a small addition to the final act. Whilst the movie was great for character building, I felt characters like Kirby may have been sacrificed in favour of the core 4, and I do get it, but Kirby deserved the development too. She's only ever had one movie to shine, and in my opinion, has the grounds to make an interesting, well-rounded character going forward. And that's it for this video. If you enjoy this content, be sure to subscribe. This next week I have a review for the movie and full character discussions coming out like this one, so be sure to sign up for notifications. Like and share. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, this isn't like any other Ghostface.